Jared, and I'm happy to be with you today as we conclude this series of videos where we try to answer the question, in these strange times, what is it that we can hold on to? And if you look, I'm in a church. I'm not in any church. I'm in our church. This is the Sanctuary of St. James. It is a thing of beauty. There is a lot of work that went into not only building this place, but maintaining it. If you would have seen this just a few months ago, back in October, we went through and had all the walls and the ceilings repaired and painted, and it is marvelous. And this is one of my favorite times to be here in the church, right in the middle of the day when the sun is beaming through the windows, all of the colors light up, and it just looks glorious. This church, this building, is a symbol of love. For many people who gave their time, their money, their energy into creating this space, this is a lasting symbol from them of the love that they have. Now, our hope is that this building would not just be a symbol of love for those of us within the church, but that we might be a beacon, a lighthouse, a tower displaying love out in the community. Now, I don't know about you, but I've never felt loved by a building. And though this building might be a testament, a symbol of love that people have had for this church, for the community gathered in the church, and for the community surrounding the church, there's not a lot of love in this building right now. And the reason that you don't feel love from a building is because a building is not the church, as beautiful as this one is. The church is the people that gather within the building, and it is the church that is called to love. And so if the church is the people that gathered, that means you are the church, and you, not the building, are called to love. And thank God for that. Have you ever felt love from a building? There are a lot of buildings that I love to look at. This is one of them. But the feeling of love is not transferred from that building to me. I can't go and hug this building. Well, I can, but I can't go and hug this building and feel love. That's just weird. It felt weird to do. It looked weird if you were here looking at it. Doesn't happen. That's not how love is communicated. Now, there are ways that we feel love. My son Hank is 2, and though he might be a little young for this exercise, I started a few months ago sitting down with him once every day, usually around bedtime, and saying to him, or having him repeat to me, these statements of who he is. Some people might call them affirmations. I just call it big boy time, and we're going to talk about who you are. And the things like, I am strong, and I am courageous, but I am kind, and I am gentle. And it's in these things that I made sure, I really wanted him to know that he is both loving, he has the capability to love others, and he is loved. He is worthy to receive that love. He doesn't quite understand what love is, because he can tell you, I love you, and then punch you in the face in the same breath. And so a lot of the things that we have to remind him is it's not enough to say, I love you. You also have to show I love you. And this is true for the church as well. And it has been true for a long time. If we look at the book of James in chapter 2, it says this: if a brother or sister is poorly clothed and lacking in daily food, and one of you says to them, go in peace, be warmed and filled, without giving them the things needed for the body, what good is that? Now, this is talking about faith, but if our faith is rooted in love, if our actions of our faith are rooted in love, it's just as unloving as it is unfaithful. So it's unloving for us to tell somebody to be good without responding to their need. We find ourselves here in Holy Week, which starts with Palm Sunday, which, though it might have seemed like a big thing at the time, was just the start of the crescendo that is building to the resurrection on Easter. And that resurrection, the death, the burial, and the resurrection of Jesus being the ultimate display of love that we experience and then live out. Love is what roots us together. Jesus said this in John 15. He said, greater love has no one than this, that someone lays down their life for their friends. It's not enough to say that I love you. I have to show it with my actions as well. There are a lot of different definitions about what love is, but when Paul says that there are 3 things that we can hold on to: faith, hope, and love, and the greatest of these is love, the love he is talking about is not a romance. The love that he is talking about is not an affection. The love that he is talking about is a genuine desire to see others know the love we've experienced through Jesus. We display that love best not through our buildings or our gatherings, but in our day-to-day life. if I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. If I give away all I have, and if I deliver up my body to be burned, but I have not love, I gain nothing. Love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant or rude. It does not insist on its own way. It is not irritable or resentful. It does not rejoice at wrongdoing, but rejoices with the truth. Love bears all things, believes all things, hopes all things, endures all things. Love never ends. This Sunday, as we gather together to celebrate the resurrection, we will do so differently than we've ever done before. At the end of this most unusual of Holy Weeks, at the crescendo, there will be no chaotic egg hunt on the front lawn of the church. Our choir loft will not be filled with the beautiful choir, the guest musicians, and the amazingly majestic, joyful songs of Easter. There will be no cross to flower. And the hundreds and hundreds of people who gathered with us last year to hear of the hope of the resurrection will be dispersed in the community. But that hope is not lost. That faith is not lost. In this time of pandemic, of social distancing, of sheltering in place, it is just as important to remember that our faith, our hope, and our love is found not in this building or this place, but is in Jesus alone. These things are beautiful symbols of the love that we have. But the love that we have is real and it is inside of you. Receive that love. Accept it and experience it for yourself and give it away freely.